order of Joe's.
Doesn't matter what order they're in now. We're here. Go Saints. Who that think they're going to beat them Saints, not the Arizona Cardinals. We'll give you guys our picks for tonight's game and every other game this weekend right after this short commercial break. And we are. I'm the only one who wins?
I have the same record as Tony.
I went and looked at it on the thing, and it said Joe Morley 47-47.
Oh, because sometimes I put it late in the poll.
What do you mean the poll? In Mike's Pickems challenge, it says Joe Morley 47-47.
Because sometimes I don't make the Thursday night cutoff when I forget, and we do this and we do it, and I go, oh crap! But on my actual post, that's what I do. I don't have all the Thursday night games in there.
Mine is inaccurate as well because I don't change them in the pool usually. I just forget to.
But it's all right.
What is this? Mine is inaccurate too. I actually have 63 wins on my ESPN.
Well, actually, I think I have 51. I think I'm at 51. I don't think I'm at 52. At least my count was 51.
If you went off my TikTok graphic, it was on there.
I didn't go off your TikTok graphic. I went off what's in the Mike Pickems challenge. That's what we are playing. That's what this game is.
This is what you get right here, Tony.
Round and pound. Anyways, our records are around this. We're pretty close. We're off by 1 or 2 games here. What is up, everyone, to the Mike's Pickems Challenge show that we do every week here on the MJT Football YouTube channel. Basically, we're going to go through every single game this week, give a quick preview, give our predictions for each game. What's up, Harrison, as always. And then we will go ahead and let you guys make your picks in the comments and in the pool. In the description of this video, if you guys enter that pool, the winner gets a jersey of their choice every week. But also, it's just fun to compete and see if you can beat our picks and talk shit in the chat the next week. Tony, Joe, how you guys doing? Introductions.
I'm doing great. I'm pretty impressed with how well I eyeballed these graphics.
This is good. I thought this
was how centered they are. Yeah, I feel good about it. So far, we got a fingers crossed for the actual team one.
Joe, you're in last. How do you feel today?
I'm tied with Tony. Graphics lie. Graphics always lie. It's Thursday night, and can we please get 2 touchdowns on Thursday night football today? Please. That's just 2 touchdowns.
Whoa.
2 touchdowns.
Speaking of Thursday night, let's get into this. This can't be right. You guys are both picking the Arizona Cardinals?
I like this,
what is going on?
So I said that I was picking the Saints the other day, right? And then I went and looked at some stats, which I don't really typically do very often, but I've been struggling a lot on the Thursday night game. Looked at they're on the road, and then they basically gave their game plan away. They're like, yeah, we're going to incorporate more Taysom Hill. Well, come on. Don't tell them that you're going to run Whitey more. And then on top of that, no Marshawn Lattimore. You get back DeAndre Hopkins. At some point, they just got to be able to figure it out. So I ended up going with the Cardinals in this one, in a close one. I think we are going to get 2 touchdowns, but it's still going to be an ugly game, Joe. This is going to be 16-19 kind of a game where we're going to get 2 touchdowns, but it's going to be not good.
Well, you already know what I thought about it, what I think about Arizona. I don't want Arizona to win. I hope, and look, I already got the Saints stuff on. Let's go Saints today. But the Saints have so many injuries that it's crazy. Andy Dalton's maybe playing, Winston's maybe playing, but last time I checked, both of them aren't playing. And Arizona is getting a couple people back, and it's I guess I gotta go with them because, like I've been saying, one of these shitty teams have to win, and it's gonna be probably Arizona. Arizona, the game Tony's talking about, 19-6 or whatever. Didn't they just play that against Seattle? Didn't we just see that on Sunday? I don't know. I hope that maybe we get some electrifying plays, and then so I was looking at it and I was like, Arizona has the better defense as of right now because I don't know what happened to the Saints defense and Dennis Allen. So Arizona is it, and if I'm wrong on this game, I won't be mad. I won't be mad.
Yeah, and on top of it all, it seems like so far this year, the healthier team has come out on Thursday Night Football and gotten the W. I know we've had some ugly ones where it could have went either way, but when you look at who is the healthiest player lacing up tonight, who is the best player lacing up tonight, it's probably number 10 on the Arizona side of the ball. You're going to see some jump balls, and I think we may see 2 touchdowns from DeAndre Hopkins. So hoping for a big game from D-Hop. I'm pumped for his return because we all know what this guy can be when he's fully healthy. He's a monster. Even Marshawn Lattimore don't really stand a chance. He's going to be fully healthy. He's taking a whole He missed a lot of last year and 6 games. Like, this is the healthiest we may see D-Hop in the later years of his career in this game right now, tonight.
Yeah, what's up, Harrison, Flanderson, and Joker? Appreciate you guys jumping in the chat here. I did not know that Andy Dalton was 0-11. That seems kind of tough because he had some primetime games against the Browns as a Bengals quarterback when the Bengals were good. People forget the Bengals were good before Joe Burrow too. Like, they had some good seasons with Marvin Lewis and Andy Dalton.
Isn't it wild that the Cardinals basically lost their whole receiving core this last weekend due to injuries, and they just bring in a whole new one from D-Hop and Robbie Anderson? Like, these guys are the 2 starters, and they both haven't played a game with the Cardinals this year yet.
I'm starting Rondell Moore because of some buys, so come on, Rondell.
Some extra targets that used to go Marquise Brown's way. Imagine if they had both Marquise Brown and D-Hop. That's probably what they were thinking when they traded for Hollywood. The next game we got here, the Atlanta Falcons on the road in Cincinnati. No one rocking with Atlanta. What are you thinking here, Tony? The Falcons did just upset the Niners. Joe called it.
Bengals at home. Defense is pretty healthy on that side of the ball. And I think they figured out some things offensively last week, or they're starting to head in the right direction with how they can utilize Jamar Chase and get him in some favorable one-on-one matchups, right? And when they do that, it's automatic the ball is going to go in his direction. Should be successful for them. And just Atlanta's been playing better than their record is, but I don't think it's that much better. You know, they're a 500 team, and I would say that they probably could have had a couple things shake in their favor, but they're not like world beaters. So if this game was in Atlanta, I may have picked Atlanta. Still close, but I'm going to go with the home team in the Bengals.
Yeah, I'm going with the Bengals because I think they're starting to turn it back around, like Tony was saying. You saw the big game from Jamar Chase last week, and maybe that was the starting point of getting them back. Atlanta, they're not a good team, but they're good enough to keep crawling. And if you let them stay in the game, they're gonna make you pay. So they're still building, they're still doing what they got to do down there in Atlanta, but they're not a good team. They're just one of those teams that if you let them hang around, they're gonna beat you in the fourth quarter because they have a good enough defense and an offense that does all right. Like they're just an average football team in Arizona. So that's why I'm taking the Bengals, and I think the Bengals defense shows up this week.
I'm with you guys, and I think a lot of the product of Atlanta may be overperforming in spots this year. Just a bunch of young players playing for their livelihood right now. Some guys that are maybe trying to establish spots in the league as starting caliber players in the league because of holes in the Atlanta team, and it's working out so far. It's not going to work out down the stretch of the year. I also think the Bengals offense is coming alive a little bit, and in the last 3 or 4 games, I believe, they've produced. They've been up there on the scoreboard putting up points. I think that continues. This may be a close game. This may be a high-scoring game. I'm going to take Joe Breezy in that offense over Marcus Mariota.
As we're talking right now, I just got offered Joe Burrow for DeAndre Swift straight up. Do I finally give up on Kirk Cousins and go with Joe Burrow?
No, because now you have Cousins and Burrow, and I don't think the difference, especially in 6-point passing, there's not that much of a difference.
DeAndre Swift seems like a steep price for freaking Joe Breezy.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense. If Cousins was injured or going to miss 4 or 5 weeks, maybe I'd think about it, but
desperate.
It's bye week. You don't need it that bad.
Joe is coming on as of late, and Rose is starting to in your face me right now because I kept telling her all year I wanted you to draft Jalen Hurts there, and you passed on it from Joe Burrow. And now Joe Burrow is starting to get it going. Jalen was QB1 for like the first 3 weeks.
Here we need to stop agreeing with each other.
Yeah, we're all on the same side again here. What, Joe? This is like your team, basically your team versus my team in the NFC. This is the Raiders versus the Chargers, and you're picking the Chargers to win.
I want to switch. I really do. I really want to go for Detroit in this game, and because they've had that bye week, I'm just worried of who they're going to have back. Like they promised us that DeAndre Swift will be back after the bye. Like, hey, we're going to sit him for 2 weeks, then we'll have a bye week, and then he'll be back. And now they're saying, oh, he might be back now this week, and they're not guaranteeing that he's going to be back. And now with Dak coming back, I think that gives the Dallas Cowboys a little bit of boost. It's that Detroit. If Detroit had a little ounce of defense, I would go with them hands down. But I lost all faith in them last week when they lost to the Patriots.
Yeah, I think that this game is not really going to be close at all. Even though the Lions had a bye, you have time to prepare. Did their defense get that much better? They can't stop the run. And to welcome back Dak in a friendly fashion, I think they're going to run the football a lot because that's the most successful way to beat him and be able to give Dak some really easy completions off the play action if he is back, even if it's Cooper Rush. And then on the other side of the ball, defensively, I know the Lions have a good offensive line, but we saw what the Patriots were able to do to them. I believe Dan Quinn will be able to have not the same, but similar success in keeping the Lions to somewhere around 13 points, but the Cowboys are probably going to be in the 30s.
Yeah, really, in my opinion, the only way that the Lions can stay in this game is if Swift and Amon-Ra and these talented young players just make some insane plays to keep them in it and score a bunch of points somehow in this Dallas defense. Other than that, the Cowboys got mismatches across the board, it feels like.
Yeah, I think that what is it, AT&T Stadium or whatever, like whatever stadium they play in is going to be hype for Dak to be back, and the Cowboys are winning some games this year. So that works out nicely for them in momentum, and just nothing is falling in the way of the Lions this year or the last 5 decades.
100%. Here we go. We got a disagreement. Tennessee. Tony, you're sticking with the Titans and me. What do you think?
Yeah, this one I went back and forth on. It was like the last game that I picked, and I settled on the fact that Derrick Henry seems to crush the Colts for some reason. He did it a couple weeks ago, even though that was the game where Shaq Leonard makes his return. He leaves early with the broken nose and the concussion. They're saying he could be back for this game, which then had me leaning towards the Colts. Then I was thinking, can Matt Ryan do that 2 weeks in a row? You know, I basically went with the fact that I think Derrick Henry is the best player in this game. Ends up with 125, 150 yards, and the Titans find a way to pull one out at home. Vrabel off a bye. I think he'll have everybody ready to go.
Joe, going Indy?
This is kind of personal for me because like I said, I have Kirk Cousins as my fantasy quarterback, and I had to put him out. He's on a bye this week, so I had to pick up Matt Ryan. I'm going Matty Ice in this game. It's kind of like I have to believe in the Colts this week against Tennessee. He put up some good points against them. A couple weeks ago, they already matched up well against them. I don't know. For some reason, I've been doubting the Titans, and there's nothing. They've been They won. They've been winning, but something about the Titans. I'm looking at them on paper, and I'm like, why are they winning? I don't know why they're winning. And I always say, well, because they have Derrick Henry, they can do whatever they want. But they don't have anything else on paper besides Derrick Henry to be scared of. So hopefully the Colts come out there, and we've seen it last year. The Colts have always been slow starters, and they start getting it going towards the end of the season or middle season. So I think the Colts are going to start getting hot right now.
Yeah, it does feel like it's King Henry versus the world right now in Tennessee. The defense isn't super great. It isn't awful, but it isn't super great. And the passing weapons just need time to develop. And Ryan Tannehill isn't the answer as far as a passer. So it's King Henry versus the Colts, and I'm going with King Henry off of 2 weeks of rest.
So if the Titans win, I get a half a point because you guys see my head there, right?
It does work. It's the only one you're getting half a point on then. It would be nice if Jonathan Taylor, I knew he was going to be back and fully healthy and ready to go for the game.
They labeled him active already.
I may went the other way.
So he is back this week?
The news broke, Lisa, I saw across my phone about an hour ago that Jonathan Taylor was officially labeled as active for the game on Sunday.
Yeah, that he's changed from questionable to healthy, but I'm curious as to how healthy he really is.
It is
Put it on the board.
It is an
Put it on
ankle
the
sprain.
board.
It is an ankle sprain. Do we need to talk much about this one? Do the Commanders stand any shot with Tyler Heineke?
Yeah, they do. Have you watched the Packers defense? It doesn't take a lot to beat them, right? Because you need a strong running game, essentially, to do that. Brian Robinson back, looking good. Antonio Gibson was at like 8 yards a carry last week. And Heineke is better than Zach Wilson. I know nobody wants to hear that, but that's the case. He's better than him, at least at this point in his career. He's had more starts. Joe, don't drop your head. Don't act like you didn't watch Heineke dime up some folks last year in the league. There is a chance that Washington could win this game. My thought is the Packers head coach cannot – I don't think he's a 3 13-win seasons. He's like the highest winning percentage to start off a career of anybody. He could find himself getting fired this year if they have a bad year. Just because you combine the playoff flops that they've had, and if they have a bad year this year, he can't lose 3 in a row and not to a team like Washington. He's got to find a way to rally the troops and get a win. But you stop pretending like Heineke can't ball.
I've said some dumb, crazy shit on these shows. Never have I ever said Heineke is better than the number 2 overall pick.
Say it again.
But you have no faith in him. There's 2 things, Tony. If I ever see you this year, if I see you in person, if I go to your house again, there's 2 reasons I got to kick your ass. 1, Cole Kmet, and 2, the Green Bay defense. Those are the 2 damn things that you were high on this offseason. I even drafted Green Bay's defense, and I was like, okay, they're going to do good because my guy, Tony Tucker, told me. And they've been crappy. But I just can't pick Washington because, like, Ron Rivera's out there to get fired. He was trying to get fired. He don't want to be there no more. That whole organization is screwed up. Nobody wants to play for Washington. There's all kinds of crap coming out. Green Bay is going to bounce back. They always do. They have a crappy loss. They bounce back the next week. And this is just a perfect recipe for them. Hey, maybe this will be the second time that we see somebody with a first round, a wide receiver drafted in the first round get a touchdown by Aaron Rodgers. I doubt it.
I doubt it.
They don't even have a wide receiver.
Isn't Sammy Watkins coming back?
I saw that he was activated for IR, but I think they have 21 days. I don't think he's been activated for the game yet.
Sammy Watkins. It's time. I'm going Green Bay.
Let me say one last thing about why Washington can win. They are better up front on defense. Like their ability to get pressure is better than what the Packers offensive line has been this year. And they still have a lot of problems there.
Then
and then their ability
now.
to run the football allows Washington to have a chance in this game. Joe, don't
switch on over.
Switch the pick. You got any Packers fans in the house?
You love their quarterback. You love the D-line.
Joe, switch the pick. Switch the pick.
Switch the pick.
Switch the pick. Come on, Tony.
I'm not going with your guys' sucker peer pressure on this.
They got the better D-line and they got the better quarterback. All right, we'll move on to this one. Do the Panthers stand any chance?
Oh, Harrison, close your eyes. Harrison.
Do the Panthers stand any chance at winning this one?
No, none. There's zero argument. There's no argument to be made for the Panthers on this one. They're starting PJ Walker. I heard that Sam Darnold is going to be activated at some point within the next 21 days.
Here we go.
But this feels like an angry trip for Tom Brady. Had to offer up the mea culpa for the foolish. I never understand why athletes use the comparison to the military. Everybody stop doing that. It is not apt in any fashion at all. You are handsomely compensated, even if you are the 52nd man on the roster, and it is optional to go to this war. Like, it is not a fucking deployment. Please, everybody, leave out the war comparisons 1,000% going forward. With that being said, this is going to be a slaughter. Sorry, Carolina, but you guys are getting dunked on big time in this game. But Joe, switch your pick. Carolina
Mike
Panthers.
would love to have Tom Brady's compensation for everything that he's done for this country, and be like, "Thank you, Tom Brady." But Tom Brady's trying to compare himself. Oh, it's not even worth it. But Tom Brady is probably practicing this week. He's probably doing the right things this week, probably getting it back on. He's probably pissed off. Harrison, you're not going to get me this week. You got me last week. I could have been up 3 games. I could have been over Tony this week. I could have had my 50th win of the season. But Harrison got me to switch last week, and your Panthers let me down. I'm not doing it again. Buccaneers come out here, just straight dominate this game. It's going to look ugly. And everybody on the Panthers is out there to, hey, put the best game on film because everybody's watching and they're going to start trading for you.
Imagine me with my brains. Look at this. First place in this Pickems challenge. Imagine me with my brains and Tom Brady's money. The investments that I would make would propel me to where I would be the owner of the Los Angeles Chargers already. So, yeah, Tom, if you want to make that happen, I'll let you go ahead and compare to the military all you want. I'm going with Tampa for the same reasons because they're just way better than the Panthers. They should be pissed off. They should be locked in. And if they lose to the Panthers, time to panic if they aren't already panicking. What is wrong with you guys? What is wrong with you guys? After all of that, you're just going to have the Jaguars do it? The Jaguars are going to end the run? Tony, tell them why. I'm in
an abusive friendship with the Jaguars, right? They're like the friend that keeps borrowing money from me, takes my car, comes back with a scratch on the side panel. Pretty sure he took a dump, my toilet didn't flush. That's what's happening right now with me picking the Jaguars every week. Then you combine that with my horrible, horrible, horrible feelings I have towards the New York Giants. I just was like, you know what? I'm going to go Duval, and I will be shouting Duval happily on the Tuesday show next week.
Yeah, I'm going with Jacksonville just because at one point the New York luck has to run out, right? And I'm not really positive on Jacksonville. They're like we've been talking about Jacksonville and how young of a team they are, but at one point they're going to get it together. I think last week's win for New York was a big win for them, and they beat a good franchise, a playoff franchise. They beat somebody on, that they could hang their hat on and be like, hey, look, we beat the Baltimore Ravens. And I think they're going to let that linger just too much where they're going to come out and overlook the Jacksonville Jaguars. And you guys saw it. You guys are Charger fans. You guys know what Jacksonville's capable of doing when somebody's overlooking them. They come out here and put some points on you. Jacksonville's starting to get their running backs involved, and they're starting to take a little bit of pressure off of Trevor Lawrence. And they're good enough to knock off this New York Giants football team, which, yes, you're as good as your record, so you're a 5-1 team, but come on, we all know that's not true.
Yeah, this is like a definition of a trap game. And we've seen it happen in the league before where teams hit their highs and then they drop one right after that high. But I can't do it to the Giants fans again this week. I picked against them every week. And the one week that I picked them, they lost. So maybe I want to do the jinx here. Maybe they're going to lose.
Okay, 3 quick things. One, you can like Danny Dimes' time at Duke without liking Danny Dimes as a professional quarterback. Those two things can live separately. Felke, how are you doing? Lastly, the Jaguars, the reason that they stand a good chance in this game is their ability to focus and stop the run. Like they're pretty good at their front seven is pretty good. Their linebackers tackle really well. So then you're going to ask Danny Dimes to drop back and beat you. I don't see that happening. So give me the Jaguars.
See you later, Danny.
Wow.
Is what I heard that they call them. We got Browns on the road here against the Baltimore Ravens. Division rivalry matchup. None of us rocking with Cleveland stinks. This will be a 4-game losing streak for the Browns if they lose this one. 4, I think.
No.
3.
They lost that week 2 and Patriots. Then came back.
Us, Patriots, and then this week. 3.
Yeah. The Jets. Oh man, that's still that's got to be sitting with Kevin Stefanski every time somebody says football. He probably throws up in his mouth a little bit. The Ravens need to get it together. I saw Lamar Jackson talking about how all the different fronts. They really should be a lot better. I still was really close to picking the Browns on this one for one reason. It just feels like one of those games where the Browns play the best football that they've played yet this year for no reason really explained. Just Jacoby Brissett comes out and he's just firing because the Ravens' pass defense has been a little suspect, and so it's like you get the run game going early, and then what Stefanski likes to do, hit him with the play action. Boom, there you go. And you have a chance for the Browns to put some points on the board. And it sounds nice, but at the end, Lamar Jackson won't have two stinkers like that in a row.
Were they roasting?
Lamar needs to go do what he did during halftime last year and go drop a Brown and then come out here and drop some points on the Browns defense. Like the Browns, we all knew they were going to struggle. And Jacoby Brissett, we already talked about this, played above his head. And Tony loves Jacoby Brissett, but we're realizing why he's not a 16, 17 game starter here in the NFL.
Yeah, and officially after Bailey Zapp did it, the Browns secondary has been cooked up by everybody. I mean, they are getting the last couple of years, but this year especially, they're getting cooked up by everybody. Now you got Lamar Jackson, who can extend some plays, with Deshaun Jackson on the team now. Give me the Ravens. Give me the former MVP on a mission. And I just think that these teams, like the Ravens, like the Bucks, like the Packers, like they're all due for dominant wins. They all are due for one. A big one. So maybe it all happens in the same week. On to the next one. We got the New York Jets on the road against the Denver Broncos. We got one lone soldier rocking with, Brett Rypien? Who's playing quarterback for the Broncos this week? It's not Drew Lock anymore.
Russell Wilson. Did you not hear what he said at his press conference? He's like, I heal fast. It might be Wolverine blood or something. It was very uncomfortable and awkward and corny in true Russ fashion. Like, he can't even make talking about Wolverine sound cool. Wolverine is my favorite superhero if I had to have one. Like, I always wanted Wolverine's power for one reason. When he puts the cigar out on his arm and it heals really quick, that'd be such a cool bar trick to have when I was like 19, 20 years old and going out all the time. I'm going to take the Broncos because of their defense. And at some point, they have to get some offense going, right? They have to be able to hit a couple of like big runs, whatever it is. They're at home. I think they can make this like a super ugly win. We're still going to trash the Broncos and the offense and everything else, but I'm going to go with Russ to get one of those wins at the end of the game where he's running around and chucks a deep ball to KJ Hamler or the kid who fumbled against us, Washington or whatever his name was, just out of the blue. They hit like a quick screen to one of these guys. They house it, and Broncos are going to win this game. It's not going to be pretty, but the Broncos are going to get a win here at home, and we're still going to be talking about how shitty they are.
No, Jets, Jets, all the way. Broncos have not showed me 1 ounce for me to go anywhere close to picking them this year. I don't even give a damn if Russell's playing. If Russell was 100%, I'm not picking them against the New York Football. They just beat down the GOAT, Aaron Rodgers, in Lambeau Field, and they're going to go to Denver and they're going to do the same damn thing. And they ended one career last week. They're going to end another one this week.
Legend killers are what they call the New York Jets this season. Sauce Gardner is going to go to Denver. He's going to grab one of those Russell Wilson jerseys out the crowd, and he's going to light it on fire in the middle of the field after the game. He's losing his mind out there. But, yeah, I'm taking the Jets as well. I think their defense is rocking right now. The Denver offense is doing the opposite of rocking right now. That alone is going to hold Denver down below 10 points again, Tony.
The two predictions. One is that Sauce Gardner, they win. He jumps on the back of a Clydesdale and rides it out of the stadium. Yeah, he's just like, you thought a cheesehead was bad. Wait till you see this. And then the fucking horse comes over. He just runs up on it. Like, the second one prediction for this is that the Broncos defense has given up 6 touchdowns this year in 6 games. I think that they really could have the discussion being that Zach Wilson is one of the worst quarterbacks in the league because they're going to stop the run. They're going to stop the run this game. And then Zach Wilson is going to look very bad in Denver. Simmons is back for a second week. I think that this is going to be a tough sledding game for Breece Hall and Michael Carter. And we keep going, oh, well, the Jets are winning. They're doing it by running the football. I think it's going to be tough to run the football against the Broncos. And Zach Wilson's going to have to win the game. And you guys are betting on Zach Wilson on the road in Denver.
He doesn't have to win the game. A kicker with one leg just beat the Broncos. A kicker with one leg.
What if he's in Aspen looking for MILFs? He's at like one of the ski hills. He's in the lodge.
If Zach Wilson and the Jets were on stage at a strip club this weekend, I'd be like this.
Oh, let's go on to the next one. My favorite game of the week this week. The Las Vegas Raiders are hosting the Houston Texans. Tony, Raiders aren't winning this game.
I made a vow that I wouldn't pick the Raiders.
You did.
I did for the rest of the year because they let me down so badly. Maybe that's what this is. Maybe that's what this is about. I picked them and they lose again. Josh McDaniels gets a bye to prepare against what's left of Houston Texans' once proud franchise with Andre Johnson there. They did fire somebody that seems to have been part of the problem. Like if you look up any Andre Johnson quote about the guy who got fired, what is it? Easterby? He had something to do with the organization. I don't even know exactly what his title was. He's gone. I do think the Texans are headed in the right place, but they're going to go there. And if Raider Nation is the fans that they say they are, they shouldn't be selling tickets to Texans fans. There should be a full-on blackout for this game. And the Raiders, I think, could win this game pretty easily.
Yeah, this game should be Raiders all day. Coming off a bye, both teams coming off a bye. Lovie Smith has came out and said that they got to get Pierce 20 carries a game. 20 carries a game for that young back. So they're going to put the offense on his shoulders, and he's going to hey, I got him in fantasy football, so I don't mind if he scores a touchdown against the Raiders, but just one, and then get the hell out. But the Raiders should be able to fix a couple things. They're without Nate Hobbs. He's on the IR now, but Averett's coming back from week one, first time he'll be back on the field. I think the Raiders leadership and the players have corrected a few things, and maybe Josh McDaniels has started to listen to Devontae Adams on some of the offensive stuff. And look, Raiders turn this around, Mike. Hate all you want.
This ain't hate. This is an honest pick. I've taken the Raiders to win multiple games this year. And guess what? They've let me down. The catchphrase of the Raiders this season should be shoulda, woulda, coulda. Because we should win this game. We should win that game. We should win this game. And all it does is add up to a bunch of L's. Lovie Smith has gotten a bye week to prepare for this game. They're coming off of a win, by the way, themselves, going against the Jacksonville Jaguars a few weeks ago. They're going to run the football. They're going to make a play or two on defense, keep the game close, get the ball into Davis Mills' hands at the end of the game. He's going to get him in the field goal range for the win.
Look, there's a lot of numbers that you could put, and you could take the Texans because all the numbers are bad against the Raiders. The Raiders the last 5 years coming off a bye, 0-5 or something like that. The Raiders with the referee that's calling this game have never won a game with him being the referee. It's like 0-11 or something like that.
That ref again, yes.
So there's a lot of things that are going in the favor. Josh McDaniels, I think last time he went into a bye with the Denver Broncos, he was like 6-0, and then after that he crapped his pants and sucked. But I think it's the other way that McDonald's has to go. It's going to be the other way. They're going to fix their stuff. They're too smart. Patrick Graham got his thing going. They're pulling a couple guys out of the system, and they're making the trades. And Blake Martinez should be playing, right? I want to see Blake Martinez and Perryman on the field for the first time and see how that goes.
Are you sure that ref isn't Mike in a mask out there? Throwing flags that's like crazy on the Raiders. Yeah.
Oh man.
Free Brittany, free Gruden.
I won't change that pick at all. I promise, guys. There we go. Down to the
Raiders versus refs, right there.
Road. Me and Tony are going to be at this game, so hopefully we're correct in this prediction, guys. But what's got you thinking Chargers for sure, Tony?
Just because I need it. My brain needs it. They need to head into the bye. They need to head into the bye with momentum on all sides of the football. We need to see a good game from JC, and we need to see the offense actually act like they know they have Justin Herbert back there. And for some reason, I'm like, you guys realize it's not the preseason anymore. That guy wearing the number 10 jersey is an Easton Stick. So let's open it up, throw the football down the field a little bit. I don't know. We'll get into this on Friday on tomorrow's show on Nuts and Bolts, 5 p.m. There it is.
This is what emotional damage looks like, Tony.
Don't do this, Ellie. Joe, why do you think the Chargers are going to win?
I almost went Seattle. The other day when Staley came out and he goes, J.C. Jackson is the starter, I was like, oh, damn, I should go Seattle right now because DK Metcalf is going to light his ass up. J.C. Jackson has been getting burnt, but I think the rest of his defense is all right. Geno Smith, I'm with Tony. This offense has to get it going. Even though Seattle's been playing, they're on both sides of the ball, they've been playing good. But in no time should a team like the Chargers, and I told you guys, the Chargers have an issue of playing down to their opponents. Hey, if it happens again this week and Seattle pulls this win off, then maybe you guys should start taking Sean Payton up on his offer. Hey, I want to coach Justin Herbert, and maybe he bring his ass in, because there's no way that the Seattle Seahawks should come down to SoFi Stadium and win this game. There's absolutely no way.
You're setting this up, Joe. I know exactly what you're freaking doing. I think that this is a little bit of a scary game for the Chargers because they have been giving up some big plays. Geno Smith and the Seahawks have been putting up some big plays. Ken Walker is a strong running back. You can say what you want about the Seattle line. They're doing enough as of right now for Geno, but I just think that our offense, even without Keenan Allen, should destroy their defense. And if this turns into a shootout, we should win that shootout with Justin Herbert over Geno Smith. So the Chargers should win this game. But this is a little bit scary. And I personally think we should keep JC away from DK for this game. I think Michael Davis is a much better matchup. He has more size. He has similar speed. And let's let JC just try and focus on guarding whoever else they want to use him in the game plan and just get some kind of successful game against anyone in the NFL right now. Because he's blowing coverages. He's blowing man coverage. It's not going well for a guy that I back very much. And when I watch his tape in New England, it does not look anything like what he's been playing like in LA.
Well, I think the game goes down to one guy, and that's the guy that you interviewed on Monday night, Mike. It's Mike Williams. He either has 20 yards or he has 100 and something yards. There's no in between. He's either getting stopped or he's having a great game. And he's going to – I don't know. Are they going to put the rookie on him this weekend? And if they do, it's going to be a great matchup.
It is.
Something that Mike said worries me also. He said in the interview that we didn't see the looks that we expected to see, and that's why the ball started to go away from me. That's why I didn't get as much with PS2 on me. And it's like, I feel like Mike Williams is reaching a level where we're paying him enough to throw to him anyways, even when he has good coverage.
Mike, every other team that I watch finds their best receiver that's on the field for the particular thing and has some sort of motion to get him in a one-on-one matchup, except for the Chargers. We're the only team that doesn't motion any of our our best receiver on the field at the time to get them into single coverage. It's very aggravating. What I want to see is David versus Goliath. I want to see little 5'8" Asante Samuel on DK Metcalf.
Oh, that'd be fun. That'd be fun. Yeah, we'll see how the Chargers play it. Because they also have Tyler Lockett to deal with, Noah Fant, and of course Ken Walker out the backfield.
Let's go. Yeah, go Chargers.
Yeah, bolt up, baby. We'll be there. If anyone's at the game wants to say hello. Next up, we got the Kansas City Chiefs on the road in San Francisco. We're all with KC here, and I think we all can agree that the Niners defense is a little bit healthier. This is a better game. But what are you thinking, Tony, for the Chiefs here?
I'm thinking I'm going to wait to see the injury report, and this might be a game I switch. If I see that the Niners get some help back on defense, some of that pass rush back, and maybe a healthy DB, although I don't really think that's what they need as much as getting that front seven right, I might switch to San Fran in this one. I will be cheering for San Francisco to beat the Chiefs, but as of right now, it feels like the Niners are playing handicap. You know, like they just don't have it all.
Joe?
Look, I don't want San Francisco to even get close to beating the Chiefs, because you know how annoying the San Francisco 49er fans would be after they beat the Chiefs, if that even happens. They'll be like, oh, we're Super Bowl champions. We're going on our way. Faithful, quest for 6 or whatever the shit they start again. No. Get the police tape out right now. Put it around Levi Stadium because there's going to be a murder on the field when Kansas City comes out there and kills the 49ers and all their hope of everything this season. This is not going to be a pretty game, Tony. You can say what you want. You can say 49ers defense is better this year. There's no way they hang on this field. Kansas City puts up 50 and says, thank you very much, and gets out of there with the win.
I don't know about 50, but yeah, if they're down all these players that are on the injury report as of right now, then I would say KC is going to win this thing comfortably. I think the biggest one, obviously, is Nick Bosa. Because if Nick Bosa plays in this game, this defense is completely different, for one. And for two, he's going against Andrew Wiley all game. And much love to Andrew Wiley. Miss you, buddy. It was good talking to you over on Sports Me, but not enjoying that matchup very much in favor of the Chiefs. And when you see the effect and the impact of Nick Bosa just coming off the defense for 1 week to the next, it is like night and day how good that defense is with 97 on the field. Nick Bosa is one of the best players in football right now. That guy is a beast. Let's go on to the next.
Andrew Wiley was a nice guy when we did our Sports Me app, and I appreciate the time that he took Super Bowl week to answer some of our questions. But look, Andrew Wiley, you hold too much. You hold too goddamn much.
Just let him go. We want to see 15 get hit. Anyways, Dak is back and Tua is back on prime time again as well. Are you guys going to be watching this whole game like this, like between the fingers? Like, please don't let Tua get hit. I think that Tua has a good game, actually, and a good return. With TJ Watt out, the Miami offense can turn this thing into a track meet. But what are you thinking here, Tony?
I think average time of delivery is going to be about 1.2 seconds. Like, it could be the fastest. He even said as much, where he was just like, hey, I need to get rid of the ball faster and stop trying to make plays. And I was like, I don't really think that was your game. Like, I don't really remember you holding on to the ball too long. Yeah. It just feels like, was it you I was talking to? He needs to go to some sort of falling school. Like, even when he falls, it looks like he's never done that before. You know, like, he doesn't take hits very well. He doesn't get pushed to the ground in a manner of which, hey, you've been playing contact sports your whole life and you look like you're falling for the first time. I am rooting for the Steelers in this game, but I just think the Dolphins aren't going to lose 4 games in a row at home. They don't need to use heat index or anything to be able to beat the secondary. You have Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, and even Mike Gesicki, I think, is somebody that he needs to start looking around and saying, I know I like blockers, but we have a mismatch at tight end, and I need to use it.
Joe, pins up, 2 at a time, back in action.
Yeah, well, last week's game kind of threw us off, right? When Pittsburgh upset Tampa Bay, and you're like, can they do it again against Miami? But I don't know. I've been hard on Miami the last couple of weeks, and I've been telling them off, and I've been saying that the honeymoon's over. But like Tony said, there's so many mismatches in this, and it's not. It shouldn't be a close game because of that, because of all the wide receivers and the weapons that they have. The only thing that could throw this off would be Tua. Like, can Mitchell Trubisky come out and repeat the what he did in the second half of last week? I'm not buying it 2 weeks in a row. I know Mike Thomas can work some magic, but how much magic does he have up those sleeves?
Yeah, and the Miami running game should benefit a lot from these receivers just screaming down the field. Like, the Steelers DBs are going to be on their heels the whole night, which should get them into some favorable situations with Raheem Mostert as well. Miami Dolphins offense has a good shot in this game to show off a little bit. But here we go. Last game of the week, a wonderful Monday night primetime game that we're going to have here between Bailey Zapp and Justin Fields. The Bears on the road against the New England Patriots. We're basically telling you that there ain't no way in hell that Justin Fields is beating Bill Belichick. It ain't happening.
There's one hope that they have, and that's if they turn Justin Fields into a running back and they play it basically like how they used to play Kaepernick and some of the quarterbacks that have had success against Belichick. But Luke Getsy doesn't even really do that. He plays like some sort of weird 1940s football where they just run normal 32 ice plays and then drop back Justin Fields, who's not ready for just straight dropbacks. So I think this game is going to be one of those, what else is on TV at like 7:30 at night? You know, like, oh, I got to get prepared for something else. This game, I think, is like 20 point blowout for the Patriots.
But number 11 in gray is going to be a part of that blowout, Tony. And I know you want to see Tyquan Thornton out there.
Yeah, he's gonna get some juice. He's gonna get an end around to the house for 86 yards at some point in this game.
There you go. Joe, nothing for Fields. That's your boy.
I like Justin Fields, and I think he's doing it, but they have nothing. They have nothing in Chicago, and it sucks. You're gonna have to go through this losing season. But we said that Chicago was gonna be a more competitive team this year, but it didn't mean that they're gonna win games, right? They're hanging in some of these games that they should have. They should have won last week. They had a little bit of a longer. Like, I don't know why teams are getting this. Like, now this is the second week in a row on Monday night that a team goes from Thursday to Monday. That's kind of crazy because you're making the other teams turn around and not have that shorter rest. But some of these crappier teams like the Broncos and now the Bears are getting the 10 days rest, 11 days rest. So good for them. But I don't think it changes anything. I wish I could go for the Bears, and I like Justin Fields, but they just don't have the weapons that they need to win games in the NFL right now.
Yeah, and the Patriots, they just seem like they're playing really clean football right now. And it seems like when they play clean football, they find success. We can give you one more opportunity, Tony, to change that pick. Change
that pick.
For what? Which one am I changing again?
The one that's on the screen right now.
I can't see 'cause there's a comment on it. Oh.
Change that pick. Come on, Chad. Tell 'em.
Spike, we will be dressing up for Halloween, so we might take you up on those offers.
This is Aaron Rodgers. He's worse than Brett Favre.
Like, let me have a day to think on it.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
You didn't see me take a day last week when I changed to the Panthers.
Yeah, he changed on the spot, and we encouraged it the same way.
Joe is impulsive. I am prepared. I am methodical. Yeah.
We appreciate you guys for tuning in this week. Make sure you guys like the video. Tap that notification bell so that way you're alerted every time we go live. And if you guys want to submit your picks, again, it's not too late. Thursday night's kicking off in about 3 hours, 15 minutes. You got to go to the link in my description or the link in my bio on Instagram or TikTok and submit your picks to that pool for them to count. Anything else, Tony? Joe, anything to add?
I need Rondell Moore to score a touchdown tonight and Kyler Murray to get me about 25. I got to start the week off strong. I'm in a real vulnerable position in this league. So let's go Rondell Moore to the house.
Joe?
I want to change my pick.
Oh, who?
I'm going with the Detroit Lions over the Dallas Cowboys this week because I'm a man, Tony. I can do that kind of stuff.
You're an idiot. Are you kidding me? The Lions on the road? It's a terrible pick, Joe. Don't do this to yourself 2 weeks in a row. You took Carolina on the road.
Rocks, get it?
How many times have you taken the Lions, Joe?
Every week, and I'm doing it again.
Joe, at least take a team at home. Like, at least Washington is at home. Taking a road dog that has shitty players and coaching.
I didn't think you were going to say that game. I thought you were going to say one of the close ones.
Switching it over. I already just did it right now.
You're going to say the Seahawks. You want to switch to the Seahawks also before we close this thing out, or any other picks? Bears?
Oh, that's it.
Okay.
Detroit, Rock City.
Detroit, Rock City. D-Hop's going off tonight, guys. I already recorded the intro to the TikTok. I just need him to make the play now, so get ready for that. We'll see you guys next week on the Pickems Show.
We them boys gonna get beat by Detroit.